Every summer, Dollar Tree brings an entire selection of garden stakes in every design and style that you want. They're great for your garden, and I love using them for crafting. This little home sign I got several months ago, and I never knew what to do with it, and now I have the perfect idea. We're going to remove the letters. Now, we're going to do it very carefully. These are made out of paper, and so I don't want to ruin them. I'm going to use my heating tool, which I do have in my Amazon store if you want to check it out. It is linked in the description box. I'm going to go slow and steady and trying not to rip them, which I was successful. Yay! All right, so after it was removed, I'm going to sand down the surface. This is just going to remove any glue left over as well as roughen up the surface for some vinyl. I am going to wipe it really well and then use this beautiful hunter green vinyl. I had this one several months, and I'm just going to cut off a piece to be able to cover the entire surface. Instead of painting it, sometimes I like using vinyl. It's quicker, easier, and the colors are beautiful. I'm just going to start on one end and slowly move towards the other side, removing any bubbles as needed. Of course, this is simply inspiration for you. You can do whatever you want with your boards. You can do it seasonally. You can do it in farmhouse style, holiday style, whatever you want. I'm going to use my electric sander to remove the excess vinyl from the edges. It's going to remove the vinyl as well as distress it a little bit, and it creates that white border that I think it's gorgeous. All right, I'm going to use my sanding block just to smooth it out just a little bit more. And then, of course, we want to dust it really well. I'm going to paint the letters white because, of course, the green will just blend too much with the vinyl. I'm going to do 3 coats, but of course, you can do any color you want. I'm going to take nautical rope and I'm just going to cut a piece and add it with hot glue to the back. Just loop it. This is where we can hang the board from. I'm also going to use masking tape to hold it in place as well as avoid any fraying on me. I'm going to use some faux knots. I love using this technique. It just adds a lot of texture, and it's just an easy way to create what will look like it's hanging from knots, but really it's just some faux knots. I'm just going to create a knot, and then I'm going to cut off the excess from the top and the bottom and hot glue it one underneath each rope. This is the garden stake we are using. I love this one. It has such a 3D feel to it, and it even has little tiny marbles. Love it. I cut off the stake portion, and now we're going to put everything together. I'm going to start attaching each letter one by one with hot glue, and then we're going to attach the garden stake as the letter O. The key with these is that if you want to hot glue them, it doesn't work as well because they are metal. But I am going to use some flexible wire, so I'm just going to dry fit the butterfly where I want it, mark where I can drill a couple of holes, use my drill to drill them, and then we're going to use flexible wire, thread it through, and then twist it in the back. Then we're going to cover up all those twisties with some masking tape to make sure it's not going to prick anybody or scratch any surface. We're going to flip it over, and then we're going to add that final H right on top of the butterfly. Now, you can add whatever you want on this. You can add greenery, florals. I decided to keep it on the simple side. Love the way this one turned out. These colors are fantastic. Let me know what you think of this one. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to start with this scrap piece of wood. This is a 1x4 that I used in a previous project, and this is a leftover piece from another project. I'm going to sand down the edges and dust it really well. This garden stake is gorgeous. Now, it does have a patriotic theme to it, but of course, you can use the inspiration and create your own design. I'm going to remove the stake by simply twisting it back and forth and pulling it out, and then I'm going to dry fit it on the board, mark where I need to drill holes, and again, use my drill to drill them. I'm going to place the truck right where I want it, and I'm just going to thread some flexible wire right through the holes, and then again, twist it in the back and add masking tape to protect the surfaces. Once this is attached, I'm going to drill several holes right on top of the board. Now, this is going to be where the truck bed is, and we're going to add some greenery, but it's so much easier to attach when you have holes to place in them. I'm going to add some of these greenery pieces that I had left over from other projects, I'm just going to add a dab of glue and add one in each. Now I did add several extra holes here and there as needed just to make it fuller. I'm also going to add several greenery picks going towards the bottom, almost like it's hanging over the wooden rail on the truck bed. I love the way this is turning out. All right, this little star ornament had left over from another project. They came two in a pack, and I'm just going to hot glue it right there in front of the truck, and then just kind of tilt the little bead garland towards the right side. Look how cute this is. I love the simplicity. I love the festive feel it has, and those greeneries on top of there. Love it. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to start with this stitching kit that you can find at Dollar Tree Plus. I love these. However, I'm not going to use the stitching portion, at least not now. I am going to keep it, but let me show you what it comes with. Isn't that cool? All right, so we're going to use the hoop here, and we are going to just make a little wreath form with it. I'm going to take some foam from Dollar Tree, just cut off a piece. This little foam knife you can find at Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to hot glue it as well as zip tie it to the left side of the ring. Now, this one has more of a beachy kind of theme to it, but again, use it as inspiration and you can make any style and design you want. This seahorse garden stake is gorgeous. I'm going to bend and clip off the stake portion and then hot glue it right on top of the foam and use one more zip tie to secure it in place. Now, you're going to see it here, but we're going to cover it up in just a little bit. These little picks have a very coastal nautical theme to it. I'm going to take one apart and just kind of place them from the bottom and the top, adding hot glue as needed. I'm also going to add some more greenery faux boxwood just to fill it in and add a pop of green color to it. I'm going to take burlap ribbon. I'm going to make a very simple bow. I'm just going to loop it like an awareness ribbon. I'm going to scrunch it in the middle, tie it with jute string, and then we are going to hot glue and tie it around the waist of the seahorse just to cover up that zip tie. I'm going to flip it to the back, tie it in a simple knot, and then I am going to dovetail cut the legs. That way it's just going to be short and not overtake the wreath. Now we're going to add this tiny little starfish right in the center of the bow just to add a pop of color, and I'm also going to add more ribbon to the top, and this is how we are going to hang this piece. Although you don't need it, you can always just hang it from the loop. Love, love, love the way this turned out. Oh my gosh, it is so cute. The simplicity, the colors. Love this one. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, I'm going to take this canvas style. It is a flat style and large. I'm going to remove, of course, the plastic from it. And I'm not even going to paint it, although you can, depending on the design you're looking for. I'm going to add nautical rope to the back. Again, we're just going to loop it, hot glue it, and masking tape it. That way it's not going to fray and not go anywhere. And then we're going to flip it over and we are going to start adding the garden stakes. Now this one has a patriotic, again, style to it, but you can use it as inspiration and do it in any way you want. I'm going to dry fit the pieces, just kind of looking to see how I want to place them. And once I know where I want them, I'm going to mark at the bottom of each stake to know exactly where I want to cut. I'm going to use my wire cutters. I'm simply just going to kind of dent it and then just snap them. Very easy. All right, I'm going to dry fit them once again, crisscross them in, and then marking where I want to drill those holes to attach them. I'm going to mark in several places, at the bottom of each star, and then in the center where they all meet. This is going to make sure they're not going to be bouncing around or falling off. Once I have it marked, I'm just going to start drilling, and then we are going to attach one star at a time using the flexible wire once again, threading it through each little hole, and then we are going to make sure that everything is taped in the back so it's not going to prick anybody or scratch any surfaces. How fun is this craft? And it's such an easy one. We're going to take this leftover ribbon, one from fall, one from Valentine's Day, but hey, they work. I want to stack them together and I'm going to make another simple bow, loop it like an awareness ribbon, scrunch it in the middle with some white jute string, and then we are going to make a couple additional holes right where all these stars meet, and then we are going to thread the string through it and tie it in the back. What an easy, adorable, festive craft you can do during the holiday season, or you can do any style, anything you want. Just use it as inspiration. Let me know down in the comments. And I have another video here for you to watch with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.